Some days start quietly, no big plans, no dramatic moments, just waking up and realizing I made it to today. That thought stays with me longer than it should, because there was a time when getting here felt impossible, not in a loud, obvious way, but in a slow, quiet one, the kind of tired that doesn't leave when you sleep, the kind of heaviness you carry without knowing how it got there. On those days, I don't wake up excited. I wake up aware, aware of my body, aware of my thoughts, aware of how much effort it will take just to exist. I lie there for a moment, staring at the ceiling, not thinking about the future, not even thinking about today, just gathering the strength to sit up. And when I finally do, it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like a negotiation. Just get up, I tell myself. That's enough for now. Some people wake up and chase goals. They plan, they hustle, they optimize their lives. I envy that sometimes because some mornings my only goal is to not fall apart. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I put on clothes. Each step feels small, and yet each one costs something. I used to be hard on myself for that. I used to think something was wrong with me. Why does this feel so difficult? Why does everyone else seem to manage? Why do simple things feel so heavy? I didn't know then that strength doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like endurance. I go through the day quietly. I answer messages. I show up where I'm expected. I nod. I smile when I remember to. From the outside, it probably looks normal, but inside, everything is slower. Thoughts don't flow. Motivation doesn't arrive. Energy feels rationed. I give pieces of myself away carefully because I don't have much to spare. There are moments when I feel guilty for that, for not being more present, more productive, more enthusiastic. I compare myself to who I used to be, or who I thought I'd be by now, and that comparison hurts. But then there are moments, quiet ones, when I notice something else. I notice that I'm still here, despite the days that felt endless, despite the nights that felt too quiet, despite the thoughts that told me I wasn't enough, I stayed. That realization doesn't come with fireworks. It comes softly, like a hand on your shoulder, like a breath you didn't realize you were holding. Some days I don't accomplish anything worth sharing. No milestones, no breakthroughs, no visible progress, but I make it through. And lately, I've started letting that be enough because surviving isn't passive, it's active. It takes effort, especially when no one is clapping, especially when no one knows how hard it was. There are days when I feel embarrassed admitting this, that I'm proud of myself just for getting through. It feels small, unimpressive, but it's real, and it matters. I think we don't talk enough about those days, the in-between ones, the ones where nothing improves but nothing collapses either. The days where you carry yourself from morning to night without falling apart. That's not nothing, that's resilience. I've learned that healing isn't always forward motion. Sometimes it's standing still and not going backward. Sometimes it's choosing not to give up, even when you're tired of trying. I used to wait for a version of myself that had everything figured out. Someone confident, someone strong, someone who didn't struggle like this. But now I'm starting to see something else. This version of me, the one who keeps going quietly, is strong too, just in a different way. There are days when the world feels too loud, too demanding, too fast. On those days, I move slowly on purpose. I give myself permission to rest, to pause, to lower the bar, not because I've failed, but because I'm human, and humans get tired. Some days, getting through looks like staying in bed a little longer, canceling plans, letting the dishes wait. Some days, it looks like crying in the shower, or sitting in silence, or staring out a window, waiting for the heaviness to pass. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But either way, I'm still here when the day ends. That counts for something. I think we underestimate how brave it is to keep living when life feels dull or heavy or confusing. Not dramatic enough to ask for help, not easy enough to enjoy, just difficult enough to hurt. If you're having one of those days, I want you to hear this. You don't need to justify your exhaustion. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need a reason for why today feels hard. Some days are hard because they are, and getting through them is an achievement. You may not feel proud of yourself right now. You may feel behind or disappointed or numb, but there is something powerful about choosing to stay, about choosing to wake up tomorrow even when today took everything you had. Some days I don't feel strong, but when I look back, I see that I was, quietly, reluctantly, but consistently, and that's enough. So if today all you did was make it through, I hope you let yourself feel proud, not loudly, not dramatically, just gently, because some days getting through is everything.